I straightened my designer suit and took a deep breath, savoring the moment. Through my office window, I could see him sitting nervously in the reception area, fidgeting with his worn tie, completely unaware that his interviewer would be the sister he'd betrayed 2 years ago. I'm Alexandra Mitchell, CEO of Mitchell Tech Solutions, and my brother was about to learn that karma has perfect timing. Ms. Mitchell, your 2 o'clock interview is here. My assistant Sarah's voice came through the intercom. Should I send him in? Give me 2 minutes, I replied, my mind drifting back to that devastating day when everything changed. 2 years earlier. Get out, you parasite, Marcus screamed, his face red with rage. You've been leeching off Dad's money long enough. I stood in our father's study, still wearing the black dress from his funeral, struggling to comprehend how my brother had transformed from my childhood protector into this monster before me. The leather-bound will lay open on Dad's antique desk, its contents sending shockwaves through our family. Marcus, please, I pleaded. This can't be right. Dad would never cut me out completely. He helped fund my tech startup just last month. Well, he changed his mind, Marcus sneered, waving the official-looking documents. The will is clear. I'm the sole heir to everything. The house, the investments, all $4 million. Face it, Alex, your free ride is over. Our mother had passed away when I was 12 and Marcus was 14. Dad had raised us alone, building his investment firm into a major success, while somehow never missing our school events. He'd always treated us equally, encouraging both our dreams. He'd been especially supportive of my technology ventures, seeing potential where others saw risk. At least let me see the will, I said, reaching for the papers. Marcus snatched them away. No need. The lawyers have verified everything. Now get out of my house. Your house? I echoed in disbelief. I grew up here too. All my belongings should have been packed already, he cut in. You have 1 hour. Anything left behind gets thrown out. I looked at my brother, really looked at him. His expensive suit couldn't hide the darkness that had consumed him. Greed had twisted his features into something unrecognizable. When had this happened? When had money become more important than family? Why are you doing this? I whispered. Because I'm tired of watching Dad waste money on your stupid tech dreams. Do you know how many failed startups he funded for you? While I worked my way up in his company, learned the business, you just kept taking and taking. Those weren't failures, I protested. Each one taught me something valuable. Dad understood that. Dad was weak, Marcus shouted. He let you manipulate him with your big ideas and innovative solutions. Well, that ends today. 1 hour, Alex. Tick-tock. Fighting back tears, I went to my room, my childhood room, and started packing whatever I could carry. Photos, important documents, some clothes. My mind was racing. Something felt wrong about all of this. But in my grief over Dad's sudden heart attack, I couldn't think clearly enough to figure it out. When I came back downstairs, Marcus was on the phone with the security company, changing the codes. He barely glanced at me as I walked past him toward the door. Oh, and Alex, he called out just as I reached for the handle. Don't bother trying to contest the will. I've got Dad's best lawyers on retainer now. You can't afford to fight this. I turned back one last time, memories of our childhood flooding my mind. Marcus teaching me to ride a bike, building blanket forts together during thunderstorms. When had my brother become this stranger? You know what, Marcus? Dad always said money reveals who people truly are. I guess he was right. The door closed behind me with a final sounding click. The next few months were brutal. I moved into a tiny studio apartment, using what little savings I had left to keep my latest tech venture afloat. Dad had been its primary investor, but with his death and Marcus's hostile takeover of everything, I was running on fumes. But something Marcus couldn't know, was that my latest project wasn't just another startup. I'd finally cracked something revolutionary. An AI-driven cybersecurity system that could adapt and evolve in real time to prevent hacking attempts. Dad had seen its potential immediately, becoming not just an investor, but a mentor as I developed it. 2 weeks before his death, he called me to his office. Alex, honey, what you've created here. It's bigger than you realize, he'd said, studying the prototype demo on his laptop. I've shown it to some people carefully, of course. They're very interested. Really? I'd been surprised. The system wasn't even fully tested yet. Very interested, he emphasized. I've made some arrangements. Just in case anything happens to me before this takes off. Check your email tomorrow. But Dad died that night. In the chaos that followed, I never got to ask him what arrangements he'd made. Until one day, about a month after being kicked out, I finally had the emotional strength to go through his last emails to me. There it was, sent at 11:47 p.m. on the night he died. Inside was a video message and several encrypted files. Alexandra, my brilliant girl. Dad's familiar face filled my screen. If you're watching this, something's happened to me. I know your brother. He's changed lately, become obsessed with money and status. I'm worried about what he might do if I'm not around to keep him in check. I paused the video, my hands shaking. Dad had known. He'd seen the darkness growing in Marcus. So I've made some provisions, the video continued. You'll find everything you need in the encrypted files. The password is the name of that silly stuffed penguin you used to carry everywhere. Remember? The one Marcus tried to throw away until you cried so hard I had to fish it out of the garbage. Mr. Waddles, I whispered, tears rolling down my cheeks as I typed it in. The files opened to reveal a stunning truth. Dad had secretly set up a separate trust in my name, containing patents, intellectual property rights, and substantial seed funding for my AI security system. He'd hidden it from Marcus, knowing my brother would try to seize control of it. Even more importantly, he'd documented years of suspicious behavior by Marcus. Evidence of him manipulating company accounts, pressuring clients, and slowly working to push Dad out of his own firm. The final document was a note to his lawyers, expressing doubt about any will that left everything to Marcus. My daughter Alexandra has always been my true successor, Dad had written. She has the vision and integrity I've always hoped for in a leader. If any will appears leaving her nothing, investigate thoroughly. I would never disinherit her. Armed with this information, I went to work. Quietly, carefully, I built my company using Dad's hidden trust. The AI security system exceeded even my expectations, quickly attracting major clients. Within a year, Mitchell Tech Solutions was a major player in the cybersecurity industry. I kept my role as CEO private, working through representatives, letting my work speak for itself. Marcus was too busy running Dad's company into the ground to notice the rising tech firm, making waves in the business world. Which brings us to today. Send him in, Sarah, I said into the intercom, standing to face the door. Marcus walked in, his once immaculate appearance now showing signs of wear. He'd lost weight, and his suit was at least 2 seasons old. I'd heard through business circles that Dad's company was struggling, bleeding clients and money under Marcus's aggressive, short-sighted leadership. He looked down at his resume, not yet registering who was standing behind the desk. Thank you for seeing me. I know my experience is mainly in traditional investment, but I believe my skills could transfer well to. His voice trailed off as he finally looked up. The color drained from his face. Hello, brother, I said calmly. Please have a seat. Alex, he choked out. You're the CEO? Yes. Amazing what you can build when you have vision, integrity, and a father who believes in you. Marcus sank into the chair, his resume crumpling in his trembling hands. How? Dad was smarter than you gave him credit for, I replied. He saw what you were becoming, made preparations. The trust, Marcus whispered. There were rumors about a secret trust, but I couldn't find any trace of it. Because you were too busy fabricating a fake will to look deeper. I sat down, enjoying how the tables had turned. By the way, how did that investigation into Dad's death go? The one that proved he was updating his real will the night he died. The night you visited his office. Marcus's face went from pale to ashen. You can't prove anything. Actually, I can. Dad's office security cameras caught quite an interesting scene. The heart attack might have seemed natural, but the stress you caused him that night. What do you want? He interrupted, sweat beading on his forehead. From you? Nothing. Your company is worthless now anyway. Dad's legacy, which you fought so hard to steal, has crumbled under your leadership. Then why am I here? Why even let me interview? I leaned forward, keeping my voice level. Because I wanted you to see what I've built. What Dad always saw in me. And because there's someone else here who'd like to speak with you. The side door opened, and 2 police detectives walked in. Marcus Mitchell, one said formally. We have some questions about the night of your father's death. What followed was both justice and tragedy. The investigation revealed that while Marcus hadn't directly killed Dad, his actions that night, threatening him, pressuring him to sign documents, causing immense stress, had contributed to his fatal heart attack. Combined with the fraud charges for the fake will, Marcus faced serious prison time. I testified at his trial, watching as my once beloved brother was sentenced to 12 years. Our final conversation happened as he was being led away. I could have helped you, I said quietly, if you'd just been my brother instead of a thief. He stopped, shoulders slumped. I thought I deserved it all. That I was smarter, more business savvy. But you built something real. Something Dad would have been proud of. He would have been proud of both of us, Marcus. If you'd let him. That was 2 years ago. Mitchell Tech Solutions has become a global leader in cybersecurity, our AI system protecting companies worldwide. I've established a foundation in Dad's name, funding young tech entrepreneurs who remind me of myself. Sometimes I visit Marcus in prison. He's different now, humbled, reflective. We talk about Dad, about our childhood, about the people we used to be. I'm not sure if we'll ever rebuild our relationship, but at least we're both finally seeing the truth about ourselves and each other. Dad's last email included a line I think about often. Success isn't about how much you have. It's about who you become along the way. Marcus chose to become someone who took. I chose to become someone who builds. In the end, that made all the difference. Epilogue. The story of Marcus's arrest, and the truth about Dad's death, made headlines in the business world. Many of his former clients transferred their accounts to my company, seeing in me the integrity they'd always respected in Dad. The house, my childhood home, was returned to me as part of the fraud settlement. I've turned it into a technology incubator, giving young entrepreneurs the same chance Dad gave me. The study, where Marcus once tried to destroy my future, is now a collaborative workspace where new ideas flourish. Every month, I receive a letter from Marcus. He's teaching business ethics to fellow inmates now, using his own story as a cautionary tale. His last letter included a photo of us as kids, building that blanket fort during a storm. On the back he'd written, I forgot who we were supposed to be. I keep that photo on my desk, next to Dad's picture. A reminder that success without integrity is just failure in disguise. As for me, I've learned that true inheritance isn't about money or property. It's about the values we choose to carry forward. Dad's greatest gift wasn't the trust or the funding. It was teaching me to believe in myself and my vision, even when others tried to tear me down. Sometimes late at night in my office, I imagine Dad watching over everything I've built. In those moments, I can almost hear his voice. That's my brilliant girl. And I know wherever he is, he's proud. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned.